Hey guys, welcome back to Blind Strike Exotics. I'm John, and today we have clutch cutting number 2 of 2021. This was actually the first clutch that was laid. It was laid maybe about 24 hours before clutch number 2, but clutch number 2 actually started pipping about 48 hours before clutch number 1. 2 of the snakes, I saw their heads popping out in here this morning. So we're going to cut them open. The other clutch, pretty much all but maybe 1 or 2 of the 8 egg babies are fully out of their eggs, and they're all huddled up in the corner. So once all of those snakes come out, and I might do a video after they're all out and I move them into the rack, or I might wait until they shed. It depends on how busy I am with videos over the next week or so. But we'll have an update on them either before or after they shed once they're all hatched. But today, this is a really cool clutch. This was ivory leopard to ivory enchi, so everything's going to be ivory, which is super yellow belly. So they're going to be all white snakes. If we hit ivory leopard or enchi leopard or enchi leopard in any of these combos, it's going to add a lot more color into it, because typically super yellow bellies are pretty much all white, but leopard and enchi are really 2 of the genes that break through that and bring out a lot of color and pattern. So hopefully I can see that with the egg cutting. If not, again, once these shed out, I'll definitely be able to do another video doing a better morph ID. So let's take a look at what we have inside of this clutch. All right, so I think all 5 of these are good too. These 2 right here have already pipped out. I don't pipped, and they poked their heads out this morning. I don't see any slices on any of these other ones, but obviously we're going to check them all. We'll start with the 2 that have already pipped out. They looked like they had a little more than just enchi or just super yellow belly, because I did see a lot of pattern on their head. Let me see what we got here. Hopefully I can tell from the egg cutting. I really don't know though, because they're still kind of hard to tell apart when they have 1 or 2 genes in them, these super yellow bellies. So I'm seeing a ton of pattern on this one. Ooh, look at that, it's coming right out for you. There is a ton of pattern on this snake, if you can see that. Ooh, there we go. I would venture to guess that this is either a leopard or an enchi leopard, but I'll have a better idea once it comes out. There's a ton of pattern on that snake though. So that's good for number 1. Good odds. I'm really hoping that I hit a few leopard enchis. I know odds aren't great of me hitting both of those genes and more than 1 or 2 of these, but it's possible. I'd like to keep one of them as a holdback, and obviously sell the rest. If I only end up with 1 or 2, it might be harder for me to keep them, because I'm really trying to fund other. I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard to cut him out without cutting the snake. I'm really trying to fund other projects, so I don't want to hold back too much stuff. And I know I can always kind of decide later down the line if I want to get rid of something, but hopefully I hit a few. Alright, now this one has, see, a little bit of, there's like egg goo everywhere here. This one's got a little pattern on the head and a little stripe down the back. If you can see that there. I would think this one might just be maybe an enchi ivory. This will probably fade out a lot more as it gets older. I know that the mom, which was an enchi ivory, you can still see some of the markings on her head, but and you can't see it now because of the egg, but this one has little stripes going down the back that are yellow. Those pretty much all but disappear as they, you know, grow up. So I'm thinking this one might be an enchi ivory. It has a ton less pattern than the other one. So I'm thinking that's what that one is. Now, let's take a look at the three. I've got the pip. I hope they're all good too. These snakes both look really healthy. Good size too. I'm really curious to see this one out of the egg because there's a ton of pattern on there. It's like it has like a ton of like leopard spots. This one, it just has a couple like little lines going down their back, kind of like reminiscent of the highways and the freeways, just kind of like stripes going down the back. But let's see what else we have in here. Now the nice thing with working with supers, especially these guys, is you're guaranteed you're getting all ivories out of this, and it makes some of the morph ID a lot more simple. Now this snake, I can tell already, has a ton of color and pattern on it. I don't know if you're gonna see that. You can see that in there too. I would guess that this might be a leopard ivory. Beautiful. Tons of color on that. You can see that. A lot less of the spotting. If I'm comparing the three of them, I would guess this one is definitely enchi ivory. This one is probably the leopard ivory, and this one is enchi leopard. But I'm gonna be completely honest. This one that's enchi leopard has like a really, really unique pattern. I really want to see it out of the egg. But this leopard ivory here is like killer beautiful. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought this clutch was gonna be just sort of boring. I assumed that I was just gonna get a bunch of just all white snakes and, you know, that's it. But so far, the odds on this clutch look fantastic. If I hit another, oh, this one feels really firm. Hopefully that means it's just not full of juice. The snake feels pretty big, so hopefully that's a good snake. I've hit really good odds so far, and hopefully that continues. I thought, like I said, I thought it was going to be a pretty boring clutch, but it's ended up turning out to be fantastic. These are the odds gods seem like they're with me on this one. I don't have any just plain yellow bellies yet. This one, let's see what's going on here. This one looks good too, and this one looks like the first one. I bet you this is, she's actually out of there too. Let's see here. This has the same speckling pattern as the first one. I bet you this is another enchi leopard ivory. They look very similar. Very reduced pattern. You can still see the kind of the leopard spots going on the sides. Minimal striping. Awesome head stamp. And this one looks good too. So I have, I think, had fantastic odds in this clutch, and I've hit 2 enchi leopard ivories, a leopard ivory, an enchi ivory, and egg number 5. Let's see what we got. Somebody, I sold the mom and dad almost right after they laid the eggs, and it's actually a local guy. If you're watching this video, if you eventually see this video, you're going to be very excited to know that these two are making some killer eggs, killer babies, and you're going to have a whole nother year to kind of make these guys a little bigger, grow them up, and hopefully mom produces a bigger clutch next year. But the genetics on these guys are pretty strong, because this looks like a leopard ivory, and you might actually see this pretty good in this camera with the stripes going down the back. Tons of color.
if I can pull the enchi up here versus the leopard, maybe not. You'll be able to see when I pull the whole clutch out, but the enchi is right here and the leopard is right here. If you can see their backs, the enchi has very little or no pattern, and the leopard has a huge stripe, yellow striping on the middle with some purple around the outside of it. If that's an enchi, it might just be a super yellow belly. I've never actually seen a super yellow belly or ivory hatchling. So I'm curious to see what that looks like when it's fully out, but because of the head being so dark on it, and that the adults keep some of that that dark color on their heads, I'm thinking that's an enchi. But this is like better than I ever could have imagined with odds. So this is seemingly an enchi ivory. This is an enchi leopard, enchi leopard. The leopards are beautiful. They are, look up like what the adults look like when you see a leopard ivory. That is literally only one of the genes that will poke through the ivory, the super yellow belly, to produce a ton, and keep a ton of pattern and color. Enchi, you keep a little bit of the head stamp, but you will not really see any pattern in it. But the enchi leopards, where I've never actually seen a full-blown adult, even into the juvenile, they keep a lot of color, kind of yellow, a little bit of purple. So I'm curious. I might keep one of those because I got two leopards out of this, and the leopards sell really well. I may actually keep one of the enchi leopard ivories to grow up and put back into a breeding program, because enchi and leopard are really two of the best genes to use when you're working with the yellow belly complex, whether you're using them with the freeways or the highways or even just the super yellow bellies. And most people are probably going to be using highways and freeways, or just the yellow belly gene itself, to produce the highways and freeways, because super gravels and super asphalts are super hard to get and really expensive. So if you can introduce leopard or enchi into those genes, it really makes a huge difference when you're producing these guys, because instead of getting plain white snakes, you're getting a white snake with beautiful yellow and purple pattern. Let me pull out my highway male, Zeus. Now this is Zeus. Now he has a couple extra genes, but he is a highway, and he is also phantom, leopard, and pastel. And when I got him in October, he was probably born in September. Now it's April, so he's, 8 months old. And he is just still crazy with the color and the pattern. He's got tons of yellow. This is like a dark kind of purpley color, and there's even like kind of, I don't know if you're going to see it in there, but kind of like a blue, like a lighter blue color in there as well. Plus he's still keeping like that really, really white head stamp. So when you're working with highways, freeways, and anything in the yellow belly complex, you really probably need to have leopard in there to make the snakes more striking. It's literally like, to me, it's like, if you're using the yellow belly, it has to have leopard. If you don't have it, the potential of you just getting a bunch of white snakes out of the clutch are probably pretty good. So get leopard into your yellow belly clutches, and I'm like really excited about this clutch. I'm kind of blown away. With 5 eggs, I wasn't expecting a ton out of it. I was just kind of hoping that I didn't get a bunch of just yellow or super ivory, super yellow bellies. It doesn't look like I got any just plain ivories, and I hit 2 enchi leopard ivories, and plus I got 2 leopard ivories out of it. So this 5 egg clutch turned out to be huge. So don't be dismayed if you have small clutches, because the odds gods might still be in your favor. So that is it for today. Now these 2 clutches are hatched. I'm assuming these guys will probably all be out of their eggs in the next couple days. I think there's 1 or 2 left in the other clutch that didn't pop out yet. I may wait to just give you updates on them until they're like had their first shed, because it's usually, you can see their colors better at that point. You know, once they get a couple meals in them, they'll be up on Morph Market. So, you know, probably by the end of May, we'll start having these guys posted. I think somebody already called dibs on the 1 visual banana out of that other clutch, but there's still 7 good babies out of that, and I'm probably going to be selling 4 out of here. So stay tuned. Look for the clutch updates once they shed out in a couple weeks, and after that, we're going to start having the other clutches start to hatch too. So thanks for stopping by, and please remember to like and subscribe. See ya.